Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Here I am with a brand new series of videos. So basically, the inspiration for this comes from the fact that if you've been keeping up with our community side of our channel, I post like regular sort of updates on what's happening in the world of entertainment. So like, first looks, announcements, everything like that. And I thought, like, instead of just doing that like on a day-to-day basis, why don't I just compile all of that together, put it out as a video like on a weekly basis. So I was thinking like maybe do it like on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and so as a test run we're actually releasing this video, but going forward we might actually just do it as a regular sort of Saturday sort of episode. So it'll be like weekly editions, and we're calling this Reel Bytes. Roll intro. So you guys have seen the intro and it looks rad. It took me like maybe about a couple of minutes, but it looks good. With this new sort of show on our channel, we've got 4 other segments. So I'll actually be your host for all the main sort of announcements and everything. Your boy, Alster Boy. And I'll be running down through a list of like what's been happening, what's hot within every other industry like Hollywood, Tollywood, Bollywood, Sandalwood, and Mollywood. We might actually, venture down other industries down the line, but just the main ones for now. The 4 other segments include OTT Radar, which will be covering like the basics of what's happening in the world of OTT. So like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hotstar, and all sorts of like online streaming platforms where they release content, because it's become the new sort of norm with 2020 becoming like a pandemic revolution of sorts for like the world of entertainment. Producers, actors, stars, worldwide have like resorted to releasing their content that have been stuck in the pipeline for release in theaters for so long that they've actually just gone ahead with streaming. And it's worked largely well for a lot of people, but it's also pissed off like a lot of other people, but on the side of entertainment mostly. But for the viewers, they get it at the comfort of their own home as long as they have access to any of the like streaming platforms. But that's a whole discussion for the OTT segment itself, and that'll be presented by your boy Abs. The second segment that we have is the review room. So that'll be where one of our members, which will be Juju, who will be presenting to you a movie that he's actually watched, one of the latest ones, and then he'll be reviewing it, like a very brief verdict, and then you may choose to watch that movie, based on your decision, or you might actually just want to hear one of the FFP members being like, hypercritical, or just, saying their thoughts on it. And number 3, we've got Top Tunes. So that'll be everything that's trending in the world of entertainment in terms of music. So that could be actually a pan-India basic of like a top 10, or it could actually be like what tunes are actually relevant and trending within each individual industry. But do drop it down in the comments below if you'd like to see either a pan-India or like based on an industry, just an overall demographic. And number 4, we've got FFP Selects. That's the last segment, presented by our boy Ash, recommending top tier movies from each industry. So like a selection of 1. He'll actually be going around like various different industries and just recommending you guys the one movie. You can basically choose to watch it or recommend it to others. So it's basically for people who are actually puzzled on what to watch, and it'll actually be a good choice because he watches movies of various languages, and so you can actually trust his choice. I vouch for it. And so with you guys knowing the basics of what Reel Bytes is all about, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the announcements. What better than to start with Mollywood, like my home industry. So it's Malayalam cinema, but before I think we get into the details, I'd like to just highlight on one of the critical events that have happened in this week. Anil Nedumungad is an actor who starred in Ayappanum Koshiyum. Like, he is well known for his role in that as a police officer, and unfortunately he has passed away in a drowning incident in the Malankara Dam. Now this has actually shook the Malayalam industry because he was such a talented actor and he had such promise for so many solid roles down the line, and he had so many projects with him as well. In the midst of this demise, he was actually there in that area for shooting purposes as well. So rest in peace, Anil, and your legacy will still forever be with the Malayalis worldwide, as well as cinema lovers worldwide. So I'd just like to get that out of the way. It's been announced, I think like a while back, that Prithviraj is actually going to be starring in the Andhadhun remake. So that's actually highly anticipated. He's a great actor, and I think that he'll actually provide justice to the role that was portrayed by Ayushmann Khurrana. And then if you guys haven't already checked out, Mohanlal has actually unveiled the first poster to RRT, and it looks mass. I mean, honestly, that's the type of first look poster. It's like almost similar to like Lucifer, right? So like, yeah, that was like proper hype. Alphonse Putren. Now this is an announcement that's actually I was really excited about, because after Neram, after Premam, the guy was on hiatus for a long time, but he's back on the scene with his third movie, Bata, which is starring Fahad Faasil and Nayanthara. Like, what a fresh pairing. I'm just so excited that he's actually back on the scene. So hopefully you guys are as well. And if you guys don't know, the January the 1st of next year is an eventful day, because not only is it a new year, it's also going to be the teaser for Drishyam 2. Oh my days. If you guys have loved Drishyam 1, which most and all Malayalis probably do, it's going to be really exciting to see that. What better way to start the new year, right? And Fahad Faasil's highly anticipated release, Malik, has been confirmed for a theatrical release. And I think Mollywood in general have like stuck to that model, because I don't know if they are actually thinking that the OTT platforms will be viable for the sort of financial construct of Malayalam movies. I think they are really still highly reliant on theaters, as is most of like, you know, Indian cinema. We'll see like where that goes, but Malik so far confirmed for cinemas, and I think most like Malayalam cinemas are. And another first look poster, or an announcement really, was Ajay Varghese and Dhyan Srinivasan teaming up again for Powder since 1905. So that actually looks exciting, because I liked, you know, their combo so far. Like, they're actually a good team, like Kunyi Ramayanam and stuff. And that's it for Malayalam. Let's move on to Tamil cinema. So Enemy is a film starring Arya and Vishal, and the first look poster has actually been released, and it looks pretty stylized. I mean, it looks very, you know, like hyper modern, like Hollywood like level sort of a poster, very simple. And I think simple posters like work, you know, really well with a sort of dynamic, like Vishal looking like really lethal. Ishwaran, which was like scheduled to release for like January 14th, was gonna clash with Master, which was gonna release then as well. But I think Master is actually, you know, sort of shuffling around the release dates a little bit around that period, just so that maybe Ishwaran can actually get like sort of a breathing room as well for like one day. But, you know, there was plans, I think, to postpone Ishwaran then if Master was still going to be scheduled for that period, because, you know, that is Pongal and Sankranti and, you know, that sort of a period. So you want to capitalize on those sort of holidays, right? So yeah, that's when they've scheduled that for. Dhanush, Selvaraghavan and Yuvan Shankar Raja are teaming up again. Oh my goodness, they are like one of the trifectas of like Tamil cinemas. Like, their products have absolutely set bars, like, you know, every time round. And as you know, Cobra's second look came out, and Vikram looks absolutely mesmerizing. Like, you know, that sort of a half his face just floating off into numbers and letters and stuff. A very tactical sort of second look. I mean, you know, it really sort of gets you excited into what the world of Cobra will be like. So I'm pretty sure like a teaser or a trailer isn't too far away. So yeah, Master is looking to like get a pan-India release. You know, they've released a Chitti story, which is like the Telugu version of Kutti story, and so they've started the Telugu promotions, and they've already dubbed Master into Hindi, and it's titled Vijay the Master. I have no idea why on earth they've named it like that, because like Hindi titles for like dub movies are usually super terrible, but with an English title like Master, I have no idea what reasoning that they had to change that in any way. But maybe to capitalize on Vijay's name in North India. I don't really see a reason why, because, you know, when you see a movie that's starring Talapati Vijay, I think that in itself is advertisement enough, right? And also a Christmas teaser came out for the Andhadhun remake, almost like teasing it, and it was Prashant basically doing piano work for like a Christmas Carol. And it was really good, because he had actually trained for the role, just like Ayushmann did for like Andhadhun as well. It seems like we're gonna get news of the title like beginning of the new year as well, so highly looking forward to that one. Top Star Prashant's comeback film, innit? And that's it for Tamil cinema. Let's move on to the Telugu films. So what Tollywood has in store is first of all Red, starring Ram Pothineni, and obviously he's the energetic star, and he's playing a dual role in Red, which is basically the remake of the Tamil blockbuster Thadam starring Arun Vijay. So the trailer came out and it looked absolutely awesome. Do you actually drop it down in the comments if you want to see a reaction to that, because it was a great trailer. But yeah, highly looking forward to that one. It's going to be a Sankranti release, so January 14th. Oh yes, and Rana Daggubati has joined Pavan Kalyan for the rumored Ayappanum Koshiyum Telugu remake, and damn, what a casting! Because like, when you've got powerhouses like Biju Menon and Prithviraj in the original giving absolutely power-packed performances, right? You want that kind of power-packed mass influences in a remake. Obviously it's going to be tailored towards the Tollywood audience, but having Pavan Kalyan and Rana Daggubati in there, like, I could not be more hyped. I am highly anticipating that one. Let's see how that goes. Crack, which is Ravi Teja's latest release, like after a couple of song promos and stuff, is also teased to be releasing for January the 14th. So there'll be like a new sort of trailer or something soon, I think. It's gonna be clashing with Red, so that's gonna be like an interesting one to see, because there's always like a, you know, Sankranti period sort of clash. And obviously I think, you know, last year we had Sarileru Nikavaru and Alavaikuntapurumlo, so like, you know, a couple of biggies like then as well. So yeah, highly anticipating the clash between Ravi Teja and Ram Potineni. F3 has begun shooting, obviously starring Venkatesh, Varun Tej, directed by Anil Ravipudi. So like highly anticipating that one, because F2 was an amazing comedy film. It's actually one of the best ones I've seen in like sort of recent times. Just awesome in every way. And as you guys know, like, I'm a big fan of Natural Star Nani, so like after seeing V on Amazon Prime, you know, it was a fairly okay film, but like obviously Nani carried the movie personally, and so I was hyped as heck when the first look for Tug Jagdish actually came out. Yeah, that was actually awesome. And as you guys would have it, Vakil Sahib is the most tweeted movie of 2020. How about that? Like, absolutely awesome. That just goes to show that, you know, Pavan Kalyan's like dominance in like Telugu cinema, because like he's got such a fan base, right? Such a huge fan base who are ready to like go and tweet about that movie all day long for weeks, maybe months on end. Like, they don't let the hype die. And I think that's, you know, like the essence of like, you know, love for cinema. And I think that's it for the Telugu film industry. We'll actually go to the Bollywood industry as well. I think one of the most important ones, like the big newsflash, the announcement of the Vikram Vedha remake. Amir Khan walked out of the project, so guess who's stepping in? Hrithik Roshan, and he's starring with Saif Ali Khan. So I am guessing Hrithik Roshan might actually be the cop, you know, Madhavan's role, and Saif Ali Khan might actually be Vijay Sethupathiy's gangster. Now, both of those roles were power-packed performances. They were like setting such a standard, a benchmark, right? You actually wonder, can they live up to the huge expectations that the fans of the original have for it? You know, the love for Vikram Vedha is huge, so the hype behind it is real. The announcement of remakes, you know, do entice hype. It goes to be seen if they can live up to the expectations and to the performances of the original. But yeah, that's it for the Bollywood scene for now, but there'll be more news like down the line. We're ending with a bang, the Kannada movie industry. So KGF is obviously going to be the highlight of that one. Teaser is coming out on January the 8th. Mark your calendars, because that day is going to be intense, because we're getting the earth-shattering footage of the sequel to KGF Chapter 1, guys, because that was a blockbuster and that in itself set benchmarks. So to see Roaring Star Yash again on our screens once again, that's going to be a treat. And this time it's going to be with Sanjay Dutt and Raveena Tandon and rest of whoever we saw in KGF 1, who wasn't dead. One of the last ones that I want to end with is I recently learned that Rajinikanth was actually hospitalized because of BP fluctuations, which sounded severe. So hopefully recover well, Taleva. So, you know, there's no Tamil movie industry without Superstar, and I know he'll be back. And so yeah, that's it to end all the announcement phases. So we're moving on to the OTT Radar. Abs, take over.
Hey guys, welcome to OTT Radar. This is a special segment of the Reel Bytes where I'm going to be explaining about, you know, the upcoming OTT release in the Indian cinema. So my name is Avin, and you've probably seen me, you know, in our reaction channels and videos, usually the quiet one of the group. But yeah, here I am. I'm gonna just get straight to the topic then. So with OTT release 2020 and COVID pandemic, there has been a few share of OTT releases across, you know, the Indian cinema. Some of them have succeeded, some of them have failed. Mostly are experiments and small films. There has also been some biggies as well that's, you know, released on the OTT platform. Some which I can name is Lakshmi, Dil Bachara, and Soreputru. With the release of Soreputru in Kollywood, which is a massive business, we are seeing more and more OTT releases happening for 2021. The main ones that I can think of are the one that's coming in 2021 in January 8th, and that's Mara, which is the remake of the highly acclaimed Charlie, which was a milestone in Dulquer's career. So Madhavan is going to be doing, you know, Dulquer's role in the film, so yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to keep an eye out for. Yeah, because we haven't seen Madhavan, you know, act in Kollywood for quite some time. He's been interested in like TV series and yeah, but now he's coming back to the film industry again. Mara is the #1 priority for the January season. There are also a few more exciting news that I got to offer now. Surya's brother Karthi, one of his highly anticipated film of 2021 was Sultan. So that's been confirmed as an OTT release, and the rights being given to Disney Hotstar Plus. So Surya's done an OTT release, Jyotika has done an OTT release, now Karti's also doing an OTT release. With the success of Sorry I Put True, they got all rights in the world just to, you know, do an OTT release for a Karti film as well. And of the few OTT releases that's happening, big ones are Bhumi, starring J.M. Ravi. He's another talented actor, and you know, he's making his fame slowly, becoming one of the greatest actors in Kollywood. Again, it's like a commercial entertainer regarding farmers, and that's being released on Disney Hotstar Plus for Pongal season. Moving on then, Bollywood. Honestly, Bollywood for me, it's been quite dead, like OTT release wise. I mean, they haven't had much, you know, big releases apart from like Lakshmi and Dil Bachara. Even in 2021, like we haven't heard any news of big upcoming film that's gonna release on the OTT platform. If you guys are interested in web series, one series that I can recommend that's coming on Amazon Prime is Tandav, starring Saif Ali Khan, and it's got a lot of hype behind it. I recommend you guys to keep an eye for that as well. Moving on then to Mollywood. What can I say? The Mollywood film industry is against OTT releases, so we can't expect much from Mollywood OTT release wise, especially, you know, the big M's, Dilip, Prithviraj, New Poli. However though, there is one film that's coming out in Jan 22nd on Prime Reels, I believe, which is like a new OTT platform. It's called Sumesh and Ramesh, starring Srinath Basi and Balu Agiz. Those two guys are, you know, comedy characters, and they had big roles previously in like some of the films. They have proven their worth as actors as well, so it will be like a rural comedy entertainer. So yeah, guys, keep an eye out for that as well. Last but not least then, coming to Tollywood. Just like Bollywood and Mollywood, they haven't had much releases OTT platform wise. I mean, they had a, you know, few biggies, like we believe there was like a Mahesh and the Pradhigaran remake in Telugu, a film of Vijay Deverakonda's brother. Apart from that, we haven't had much releases in Telugu industry OTT release, and theaters are opening, you know. I mean, I believe they have opened already. Films are being released, getting really good occupancy, families are coming in. So I don't expect any more OTT releases from Telugu. As you guys may have heard, big releases are on their way in January for Telugu, like Crack, Red. Exciting news, but again, for OTT release wise, I don't think we can expect much from Tollywood. I do apologize though, because I haven't kept my head in Sandalwood for quite some time, so I don't know about the OTT releases happening in Sandalwood, but I don't believe they had much releases there as well, like OTT platform wise. But if I'm wrong, please do correct me, because yeah, it would be good to get some information on that if you guys know about that. But yeah, OTT release wise, those are the big ones, you know, that's coming out in January, and the latest news regards to OTT. If I get any news regards to big releases or any, you know, fun projects that's coming out on the OTT platform in the Indian cinema, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible through another video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. If you guys think that I can improve in any way, please do leave a comment as well. And that's it from me, guys. I'll see you guys later then. Bye.
Welcome Makale, my name is Jude from FFP, and like you've seen my colleagues doing, we've started a new segment for YouTube called Reel Bytes, and I'm doing one of the segments too called Review Rooms, where I will be reviewing latest movies that's been released on OTT or theatres. Without delaying it further, let's go just straight into it. And the first film I'm going to be reviewing is called Paava Kadhaigal, Sinful Tales in English. Sounds dark, doesn't it? That's what this anthology series is all about. Dark, small tales that happens from, you know, different time periods, from 1980s to, you know, current time periods, dealing with very dark, powerful topics, basically on how, you know, people try to protect their honor and pride, and what kind of sinful things they're trying to do, and how this affects their relationship within family. So yeah, it's quite dark sounding, but it's been directed extraordinarily by 4 amazing directors. Yes, there are 4 episodes in this anthology, and each 4 episodes has been directed by different directors, namely Sudha Kangara, Gautam Vasudev Menon, Vetrimaran and Vignesh Shivan. And like 4 different directors. Each episode's got 4 different music directors as well. Justin Prabhakaran, Anirudh, and we got Karthik and R. Sivatnika. Sorry, I had to think about that name then. But yeah, these are the 4 music directors as well. Now, what stood out in this anthology? First and foremost, the acting. Everyone did an amazing job in the acting department, but there are 2 people that stood out the most for me. One of them is Kalidas, who had to act as a transgender Muslim woman in the 1980s, and man, he smashed it. He actually smashed it. If anyone hasn't seen Kalidas's acting so far, if they watch this film, they're going to be gobsmacked. He's got far to go. I think he's going to be a next level actor. Honestly, he's got a bright future. The second one that stood out most is Sai Pallavi. She's already proven her acting with, you know, characters like Malar in Premam, but this one again, she had to act as a pregnant lady who comes back home after running away, and I don't think she acted as a pregnant lady. She lived as a pregnant lady. Everything she was doing, to everything she was saying, the way she was delivering those dialogues, it felt like she was pregnant. And to actually like portray that to 100% perfection, we need to appreciate it. So the 2 people that stood out most in terms of acting is Kalidas and definitely Sai Pallavi. Next thing that stood out was the music. Each music director brought in a lot more depth to the scenes and emotions with their music. The background scores and the songs that come in with each tales definitely elevated the emotions that was portrayed by the actors in those episodes, and definitely conveyed the message more powerfully as well. Another thing that stood out, the cinematography. Very raw and rustic color grades helped the film to look very raw, and because it looked very raw, we as audience connected with it even more. These tales were very dark. Everyone directed it brilliantly. The screenplay was quite good as well. I don't think there was any lag moments in each of the episodes. Each of the episodes left the audience with some kind of like heavy heart actually, and it definitely made you think about the society. So, you know, in that sense, all 4 directors smashed it. The one that stood out the most for me was Laupana Uttranam by Vignesh Shivan, because he infused these dark tales with black comedy, and I think that's quite a hard thing to do, but he did it really well. Of the 4, that was my personal favorite. So is this anthology worth watching? Definitely. I think you shouldn't miss this anthology, and if you do have Netflix account, go and watch the film now if you haven't watched it already. If you don't have Netflix, then get a Netflix account from somewhere, watch these anthology episodes. Don't miss this one. It's definitely a good one. It's worth the watch. I hope you like this review by Jude, and hope to see you soon.